Everyone, just wanted to give you my thoughts today on a recent smartphone which I've been touting around for the last couple of days, and it's the Nokia Lumia 920 for AT&T. Yep, you probably recognize it. This is probably going to go down as one of the most iconic Windows phones ever. It's really the phone that brought Windows Phone into the spotlight, brought it to the front. It gave it good specs. It brought it into the modern age. Like, everything about this phone just screams Windows Phone was breaking out into the mainstream. And how does it hold up? I mean, it's 2014. The phone was released in, I believe, October of 2012. So it's been a while. Let's take a look. The features of this phone have evolved quite a bit over the last 2 years. A year and a half rather. Initially, when this phone launched, it didn't have many specific software tweaks which really made it useful, but since there have been a lot added, and I'd like to talk about a few of the things which have been added to the Nokia line which really made me enjoy this phone more. First one is going to be Nokia Mix Radio. Nokia Mix Radio, I'd say, is one of the best free internet radios you can use, and I found myself really enjoying it. The selection of songs really seems like it is made by an individual, and it is, and it's a really great experience. The music that's playing is just great, fun to listen to. Very rarely is there a song that comes on which I don't like, and I think it's just a really good job by Nokia to make such a great service in Nokia Mix Radio that comes free for life on the phone. And what other software tweaks? There was also the Nokia Camera app, which was added about mid last year, and that one has probably got some of the most attention because the Nokia Camera app is actually not the one I have set to my default, unfortunately, but the Nokia Camera app is just a regular camera app, except for it allows for the tweaking of a whole bunch of manual settings, which is just fantastic. And you do that by just sliding it over, and then you have control of the brightness, the shutter speed, the ISO, and the white balance and the focus range. It's a really incredibly good tool to have for your phone. It just really makes the photo taking experience that much more professional and true to what other people can do with their smartphones. And that's not the only thing, well, not other people, it's a Nokia specific thing, but what other people can do with their regular point and shoot cameras. But that has been just a great addition, but that's not the only way that they innovated in the camera. They innovated in the camera by providing optical image stabilization. Now, granted, this wasn't the first phone to do it, but it was the first phone to do it with a really great camera to start off, and man, I could say it's a really great camera. Using this phone and its brother, the Lumia 928, I can say definitively that after tons of picture taking, I'm a bit of an avid photographer myself, that this camera definitely holds up, and it's definitely one of the best camera experiences you can have on a smartphone. And plus they have the smart cam and other camera features. It's really great. So that's the second great software features they've added. And the third and final one, which I think I'm forgetting it now. Oh yes, now I remember. The Nokia Glance Screen. Now the Nokia Glance Screen is a very interesting feature. What you do is you just lock your device, which I'll do in a moment, and then right there, the numbers show up on the screen for the time, and you get to see your notifications too. Now, it's really good because you can see those notifications and you can see what's happening on your phone right when you take it out of your pocket without having to unlock it, and it doesn't even really drain the battery. I've really noticed no battery change from when I have the glance screen on to when I don't. And you can even add in little pictures, like as you can see here, I've got the tiger set to my picture, and you can add in any sort of one that you want. It's a really fantastic feature, and it's really fun to use. I mean, it saved me a lot of time with having to unlock my phone all the time. It's been a really great feature, and in those three ways, I think Nokia has done some really great innovations with their phones. and the Lumia 920 has just been the flagship from the majority of that time. It's really been the phone that everybody knows. And aside from that, I'll just talk about the hardware for a little bit. The hardware is really great. It's got a 720p IPS LCD screen, and not only is it a fantastic HD panel, but it also has what's called Nokia's PureMotion HD Plus technology, which I'm throwing a lot of terms around here, but it basically means that they guarantee 60 frames per second on the phone constantly. So you're always going to have that extremely smooth and rich experience, and it definitely holds up. Besides apps sometimes taking a little longer to load, it doesn't have anything to do with the actual frame rate. There's no slowdown in this phone in regards to the operating system. Everything about it is quick, and I never feel limited by this phone's ability to respond to what I tell it to do. So that's really great. The camera, I obviously went on about that a bit, but the camera is really fantastic. The front-facing camera is good too, but there's an odd problem where they have a habit of getting dust underneath them, and that's not good. And this one's actually been plagued by that, so I'll be sending it back. But still, when there isn't dust under the camera, it's a pretty good camera, but that problem persists. This phone, it's really durable. I've seen so many beat-up Lumia 920s, but I've rarely ever seen a broken one. Even if you scour the internet, it's hard to find one with a cracked screen because there's just a lot of insulation, and they do a lot of drop testing before they put their phones on sale. And I never really feel like I'm going to break my Nokia. I mean, I've dropped my Lumia 928 on solid concrete 3 times, not a scratch to be found. It's incredible how well Nokia has made their phones in regards to durability. So that's really good. And next I'm going to talk about button placement. The buttons are all 3 on one side of the phone. You can see the volume rocker, the lock button, and the camera button. Now, this works great because naturally you hold it in the hand, and then all of your fingers line up with the other side. And that's with your left hand, and even with your other hand, you're going to have your hand right next to the volume slider and the lock button. So it works great in both orientations. And then having a physical shutter button, and it's actually a 2-stage shutter button, so you can press it hard and it'll activate the camera even from the glance screen. And you just hold down once to focus, and you hold that again to take the shot. And it's a really great addition. It makes me think that every phone should have a camera shutter button, and in all honesty, they should. So that's really been great. The capacitive buttons down here, they work, no complaint. Battery life on the phone, battery life is, I'd say, just above average, but only just. It's nothing amazing, it's nothing terrible, it's definitely not a Droid DNA, it's definitely not an iPhone 4, so, you know, not the worst, not the best, but just a little above average with this phone. And I've been using it on Wi-Fi network, so I know that your usage will vary if you're using it with AT&T cell network. See, what else is there even to talk about? The speakers. Speakers are really loud. They can get really loud. You're not going to fill a room with this thing for a rave, but you're going to be able to show a song to a few of your friends with no problem. And that's about it. Last thing I say is the colors. The colors are a nice addition, so if you want to personalize your smartphone a little bit, get a color you like if you're on AT&T, and show it off. Show you're an individual. Show your phone isn't like everybody else's. So that's really about it I have to say about the Lumia 920. Oh, one last thing. There's clear black technology in the display, so when you're reading under direct sunlight, where normally just the light overpowers the light of the phone and you can barely see what's on screen. In this phone, you can still clearly see what you're doing even under direct beating sunlight, and it's almost seemed like magic in some times where I've been using it and then sun's beating down on it and I can still see what I'm doing. And I've had previous HTC phones and Samsung phones and just a whole bunch of phones before this that's been consistently a problem. But this phone is able to overcome that with great sunlight readability, something that people don't often think about, but it's something really great to have. And that's it. Truly, this time, that's it. The Lumia 920 is one of my favorite devices of all time, and it's definitely going to go down as my favorite product of 2012. It's a great overall smartphone, great build quality, great screen, great performance, and it's going to be great for a long while longer after it gets the 8.1 update. So just sharing my thoughts on the Lumia 920. Why don't you guys tell me what you think about it? If you guys have a 920, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Otherwise, if you have any questions about this phone, I can answer in a follow-up video or a private message. Feel free to ask. Otherwise, please remember to subscribe and have a nice day, everybody.